The agriculture industry in Saskatchewan is changing rapidly, with the federal government looking to cut costs in this sector by $300 million over the next 3 years. One of the victims of the budget cuts is the PFRA, also known as the Prairie Farm Rehabilitation Administration. One of the ways the government is approaching this is by transferring community farming pastures to the provinces. The provinces are then looking to sell or lease these pastures to the ranchers, who have been using this land for generations. Bryce Burnett is a rancher in the Swift Current area who took the initiative to write a letter to the editor in one of the local newspapers in order to help inform the general public on this issue.
It's really a hot potato because the federal government just dumped this on the province and said, now you figure it out. And I really feel for the provincial people in trying to figure this out because they don't have any answers from the feds yet as to what is happening. And then they're trying to dump it on the patrons. So there's no answers anywhere. They just want them to form groups with no answers as to what's going to be happening with it.
The PFRA's main purpose is operating 80 community pastures across the prairies, with 62 of those here in Saskatchewan. There are 60 federal pastures that are going to be transferred to the provinces by 2018, starting with 10 set to be transferred by 2014. The pasture selection process was based on areas that garnered interest from patrons, proposals received, and consultations. Despite the process in place, concerns continue by those tied to the cattle industry.
I don't think they could afford to purchase it in many cases. They're basing it on land values, present market values, whatever that is, and it's different in different areas. And I don't think a lot of these patrons could afford that in the first place. Why would you want to go buy a piece of land that's probably 20 to 30 miles from your home and have to work with your neighbors to try and make things go? You might as well buy a piece of land right at home that you have full control on. And a lot of the younger people are already mortgaged or to the hilt or have a lot of other expenses they have to pay for other than just this land. And old fellows like myself don't have as many years left anymore, so why would I want to put money into something like that when I should be thinking of retiring instead?
It is hard to say how this will affect the future generations of farming. The pastures have been promised to the farmers, but if they fail to come together to purchase or lease, the outcome of these lands become unknown. Burnett, being a third-generation farmer, is for the first time unsure about the future of agriculture in Saskatchewan.
It evolved that it gave young people a very good chance to put cattle into the grazing system and get involved in agriculture. And that's going to be taken away from a lot of these young people, which is, to me, is too bad because that's what farming is all about, the next generation.
Changes are on the horizon for the ranching industry, and concerned individuals like Bryce Burnett will be keeping a close eye on the situation. For Southwest TV News, I'm Scott Armstrong.